Thank you, Liesl, and thank you TechAmerica for hosting us. Welcome to the Cybersecurity Caucus 101 briefing. And I want to again say thank you to my good friend Jim Longman for his really inspiring leadership on an issue that is just now getting some attention. We served on the Homeland Security Committee, I still do, and several years ago we held a series of hearings on cybersecurity.
Secretary McCaul testified this morning before a committee stating that cybersecurity is one of the most significant emerging threats facing the national security of this nation. When we look at the amount of data that has been stolen from the federal government, it too is a step, equaling the size of the Library of Congress. What we found in the hearings was that there was really no coordination between the offensive capability that we have. Because when you talk to the high-level military officers, they will tell you privately that this is one of their greatest concerns on the horizon. And I really see it in terms of, if you step back and think, if foreign agents were caught carrying paper files out of Canada, stealing, it'd be all over the front page of the Washington Post. And yet in the virtual world, that's happening. And so, I see it really on three levels. There's a criminal side of this, intellectual property theft. There's the espionage piece, fishing for information, stealing information. We know many of those countries who they are. And their motto is, why commit it if you can steal it? And so they constantly hack it in for espionage purposes, stealing intellectual property. But the last piece is probably the most concerning to me because of the great damage it could cause. And that would be a cyber warfare attack. Last 4th of July, we had a denial of service attack against the United States. Some of you may not have heard of it. The difference between that sort of attack and a fishing expedition or theft is that the intent is very different. The intent is to do harm. It is to shut things down. And we know through some of our offensive capabilities that the ability to shut down power. The Aurora project was declassified through the click of a mouse blowing up a power grid. Imagine the Northeast being shut down, power being shut down. Imagine financial institutions being wreaking havoc by hacking into financial institutions and changing the numbers. Imagine the amount of enormous economic damage, which is exactly what our enemies want that you could do. So this is really, we're on a sort of a high order road. Private sector plays a huge role because they control about 90% of the critical infrastructures. Everything is tied to the internet, which is a great thing. That is the vulnerability is you're tied to the internet, and therefore it can't be accessed. So the great challenge is how do we better defend our networks federally? How do we work with the private sector to protect critical infrastructures across the country? I think you will see some legislation coming out this Congress to deal with this issue. I think we have to be careful how we do it, but I do think this issue is finally, I think, now getting the attention of many high-level officials and many members of Congress. And so this has been one of the greatest turnouts we've had. And I just want to thank all of you, and particularly the staffers as well, for showing up to get briefed on this, because I think you're going to find with your members, this is going to be a more important issue as time goes on. So with that, we turn it over. Thank you for